sometimes translated as bow, bow down, or to bow the head, or to stoop. And then we have other, ways of saying it, like a curtsy. So here is Winston Churchill, bowing to the conquering line of the tribe of Judah, to the King of Kings of Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? The King of Israel as well. That is his title. Many don't want to accept the truth, but the truth is not, not a sin, but it's an offense. Now notice this right here. Here is the queen, right? People say, well, she did not bow. Well, are we saying bow, bow? Well, she bows right there. This is like adad, the bending of the neck. Need we go back to, this is also her bending her head. You see her bending her head. So she does bow. Right now, we're not talking about that other picture out there that people talk about, that's Prince Philip and all of that. We don't really, believe that that's actually that. That's what, as others basically curtsying and bowing. But here, isn't it clear? His Majesty's head and neck is straightforward. Sometimes he will bend, in a type of a deference too. But here you can see his head and neck, right, is straightforward. He's not bowing. No qadad there. But you can clearly see that Prince Philip, his head qadad, is bending his head. You see the queen, she's also bending her head. And if we zoom in right here, you can see where they are clearly bending their head. And clearly he's keeping his head straight. He's looking straight ahead, and they're looking straight down. He's looking straight ahead, and they're looking straight down. So much for that. Well, she never bowed to anyone. She made the same sort of bow. Well, she makes the same sort of head bow to Princess Diana. If you go back to that video, I'd like to get that video, chop that, cut that, edit that, and put that side by side so you can see it for yourself, right? But it's clear right here where they are bowing in deference to the King of Kings of Ethiopia, to the elect of God, to the conquering line of the tribe of Judah, to the Rastafari Kedemawi HAILE Selassie. It's very clear right there. That's that word right there, right? Now, you see what we're showing you right here, right? We can also show you, let's see this again. Now, of course, we say, well, that's just a one-off. Well, not really. We can see over here, this is a slight, bow, but look at this. This is a more purposeful one, right? This is coronation, right? So we can see these examples, right? Don't we see these examples? So where do we have in the scripture where they worship both God and the king, right? Where they worship both God and the king? Where do we have, right? Where do we have in the scripture right here, right? Okay, that's a curtsy down there. Oh, there we go. This was an interesting one. We had a clearer version of it, but this is a very interesting kind of picture right here. All right, look at this one right here. Look, I don't know if he's giving him food. I don't know what's going on. Is he feeding him? Is Matthew feeding him? Look at how the Ethiopian servant there is looking. All right, he's like, wow, maybe never seen a white man bow like that. You know what I mean? I mean, look how he's bowing. You know what I mean? You can almost put a tray on his head and his back. It's almost like straight across. Look how flat it is. He is qadading, to say qadad. He's bending. He is bowing, right? Right? Worship God and the king. Some say, well, only worship God. You know what I mean? Well, here it's clear, Hebraically, they worship God and the king, right? In the real Israelite order. So when we look at the Israelites of Ethiopia, and we see the same pattern manifest, right? That's also another point of the trueness of it all, right? So right there, just to bring out that, let's come off of this right here, and let's go, yeah, they say that, that she said she didn't bow to anyone. You've probably seen this goofy video. Let's bring this up here. There's a goofy video that uses this still right here. I said it's kind of goofy because of course it's a pro-British shit. Brit shit. Didn't, look, they didn't even put the apostrophe in the proper place. I did, int. I did, NT, the New Testament, right? I didn't. No, it's actually D-I-D-N apostrophe. The apostrophe goes after the N, not after the D, right? I guess it was rushing to get this out there. So they're trying to say that Queen Elizabeth, right, that she did not bow to nobody. Do you know English? Do you know English? Do you know what a double negative is? A double negative, I didn't do nothing. That means I did something, actually. If you say I didn't do nothing, you really mean in English, you did do something. I know maybe people didn't pay much attention in English, class, but when you say I didn't I didn't bow to nobody. Look up, you know, you can, everybody can search it out. Everybody can be wise. Go to Chat GPD. Ask them what a double negative is. Go to Chat GPT or whatever and go look it up for yourself. A double negative. So by saying, if this is the Queen of England, you know, she's passed away, right? But if she says, I didn't bow to nobody, this means she must have bowed to somebody. You check what I'm saying? I didn't bow to nobody means you must have bowed to somebody. So let's go over here. Oh, you did bow to someone, right? You bowed to the King of Kings. Look right there. Even her husband, Prince Philip, he bows. Look at both of their necks are bent. Can you see? Let's zoom out so you can get a perspective, right? Can't you see both of the necks are bent? Like they're looking down at the ground while he's looking straight across at the one who's looking down at the ground. And then notice that his wife, the English queen, the queen, right? She's also looking down. Look at her head. Her head clearly is looking down, right? You know, and she has that kind of, that little grin, that funny grin. You know, that grin that she does right there? They're bowing. They are back, and she has a crown on her head and she's bowing. Look at that right there. The tiara, I think they call it. She's bowing. He's bowing. Look at his neck bent. His neck is bent right there, right? Which is proper reverence and proper deference, right? That's proper reverence. But look what it says right here. And for the Israelites, they, bow down their head. So there's a difference between bowing your head